Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is Darin Olien. This is the Darin Olien Show. We're doing some moving and shaking around here. We are creating some changes, and I will keep you updated on that. It is good and exciting and expansive, and I can't wait to share more of that with you as I expand what I'm doing so that I can create more benefit ultimately. Because what's the point? If I can't help you, it's not interesting. But in this episode of the Darin Olien Show, we're going to dive into the evidence behind everyday practices to improve your health and well-being. And I always get these questions all the time around water. So we're going to get into the fundamental aspects of water and, dare I say, one of the most basic and powerful ways to improve your health. And that is through water. But water is not just water. I can go into this for what seems to be days. And there's so many different aspects of this that I want to bring about that I'm going to try to keep it highlighted. And I also want to give you some great information based on the science, as well as at the end have very clear, specific ways that you can improve your hydration. And if anyone has looked at water, you know it's literally not just H2O. That's just it's like saying a word is a word, but a word has vibration, it has frequency, it has intention, it has meaning within a context, right? Same with water. Water, is it pure? Is it free of toxins? Is it in the right temperature? Does it have the right minerals and electrolytes? And in some cases, is it in food and it is structured within that food that is potentially more hydrating? So there's a lot of different aspects of water that goes very deep. I have spent a lot of time in the biggest way possible around some of the biggest scientists studying water. If you want to go down the rabbit hole, you certainly can read Dr. Gerald Pollack's book, The Fourth Phase of Water. I'm not going to get into that here because that is a whole different science. I just want to keep it a little higher level so that you can understand. So today we're going to look at the science-backed benefits of different types of ways to increase your hydration, the quality of water, adding unrefined salt to it, even a little bit on the structure or energy enhancement of water. So grab a glass of water. The more I talk, the more you're going to be reaching for that beverage. So get the water now, and let's talk about one of my favorite topics, water, or H2O. That's hydrogen, two hydrogens connected to an oxygen. Right. So, and there's a whole nother science of that I'm connected to, that I'm involved in, that I'm a partner in, that we have looked at energy tech to liberate the hydrogen from atmospheric water and create a new energy source. But I'm just going to leave that there, and you're going to be so curious that I won't give you an answer right now. But it gets wild what water is, what it can be, and what it can be for you. Okay, first thing, the basics of hydration. Now, our bodies are, you can make the argument that we are 90% central nervous system water, lymphatic system is over 90%. Our overall bodies, you can say, is around 60 to 70% water. So fluids are so vital for every body function. It is not just a liquid. Again, it comes up to hydrophilic surfaces like every cellular membrane, every cell, and it has characteristics that Dr. Gerald Pollack gets into, and it redefines, it gets into the quantum understanding of water. But it goes very deep. But I want to dive into, pun intended, dehydration, what can lead to that, and some of the issues around that. If you're dehydrated, your cognitive ability goes down. There's a lot of great research around children just having a couple glasses of water in the morning and doing tests, and their tests go their ability to increase their cognitive ability goes up by 25 to 30%. So that's incredible. And so we don't even understand how dehydrated we are. I get into this in Super Life, my first book, and we understand that over time, you don't even realize that you're dehydrated because we're so good. If the body is dehydrated, it tries to keep the executive function moving to find water, but you just keep not finding it, or you reach to diuretic kind of coffee or other things that trick the brain thinking it's getting the proper hydration or just water, and it isn't. So there's a lot of things to water, and there's a lot of things that can lead to your dehydration, especially now in the summer, man. Like I am consuming, every other day I'm consuming a massive watermelon. I am just so obsessed right now with watermelon because it feels like this need, because I know I'm losing electrolytes. I know that my body is sweating more. And you want to go to the miraculousness of watermelon and the watermelon seeds even. I eat all the seeds. There's certain compounds, I'll get into it, but antioxidants, lycopenes, electrolytes, a lot of amazing stuff in watermelon. It also helps to detoxify. But I digress. Okay, so water and health. You know, water is this vital, important thing that is not just taking up space. It is how it functions, and highlighting this crucial role of the overall health is massively important. And the fluid intake and the hydration status is one of the most important things you can do. Proper hydration is essential for virtually all physiological processes and disease prevention. And this was a great study. I'm not going to read off every study that I'm highlighting here. It's in the show notes, but it was a 2011 study, and it discusses how water plays a role in metabolic reactions. So that's literally the body taking energy and producing energy at the cellular level, at a mitochondrial level. So it's absolutely directing and supporting metabolic processes. Now, it's also very important as water and electrolytes, and you've got this flow that happens, the osmotic flow, sodium, potassium, calcium balance, and this water going in and out of the cell. This is crucial. And when you have electrolytes available in water, and you're also an athlete, or you're sweating, or you're working out, or it's summer, this is a very critical process. This 2011 study reviewed and emphasized the importance of hydration in preventing conditions like kidney stones and urinary tract infections. Infection seems to go up. The disease mechanisms seem to go up when you're lower in fluid, when you're dehydrated. That environment of dehydration can create different levels of concentration of metabolites, electrolytes, acids, and that environment can change throughout your body, and therefore leading you to negative metabolic conditions. So just by hydration alone, understand that the lymphatic flow is essentially all liquid throughout your body. And every communication system, from your central nervous system to your hormones, it's all fluid, man. And this is wildly important. Even severe dehydration can squeeze the circulatory system and create high blood pressure because it's regulating pressure based on hydration. Many other factors, but that is one factor. Okay. Another component, I'll just skim into this a little bit, and that is water quality. So the quality of the water you drink can significantly impact how well your body actually hydrates. Several studies suggest that purified or filtered water free from contaminants and pollutants is ideal for hydration. And this was a study in 2009, and it still holds true. Now, this is a fatal convenience. Hydration goes up after you've properly filtered your water. Now, if you have a natural spring, if you know that spring water is clean and clear and not in certain cases a plastic bottle and have other contaminants in it, then of course that's the gold standard. So there's arguments to say like, Darin, why are you promoting purified water when spring water is the best? Because not everyone has access to clean, truly clean, uncontaminated water. Now, when we now realize that PFAS and other chemicals are in every person, in almost every waterway, touching the globe, that's just one thing, the pre and pro fluoral alkali substances. And I say that because it's a forever chemical. And I say that because in the 90s, we found out that 99% of all humans had it in their body. So if we don't think we as humans are making an impact on this planet, creating change in and on the planet and in the climate, then you are not looking at it critically yourself. I don't know all of the science of all of the different, from CO2 to everything else, but we are polluting the earth, the air, the water, ourselves. That is without argument, okay? Those things have an impact on our ecosystem. Therefore, they are also having an impact on the bigger ecosystem. So water, several studies suggest that this purified, filtered water, and again, you have to filter it carefully. Filter just doesn't mean just any old filter. You have to distill it or a reverse osmosis good filter. And I'll put links in the show notes to where I suggest you go for like inexpensive ways to improve your water quality. Don't buy bottled water anymore if you can help it. Get a glass bottle. I use Blue Bottle Love. I have another link. Everything I share with you, they have given you discounts for. AquaTrue, I have for AquaTrue I have for reverse osmosis. I add my unrefined salt back to it. I use my Blue Bottle as my carrier, and I have no plastics. It's back to glass. It's filtered, purified water, increasing my hydration. This study, without a doubt, shows that, we have lead, we have PFAS, we have phthalates, we have pesticides, we have herbicides. We have a tea of chemicals in our waterway. That's it. Just because the municipalities have purified the water to a certain extent so that we don't have typhoid, dysentery, you name it, to kill us acutely or hurt us acutely or create diarrhea acutely, that doesn't mean it has the sophistication to get out the 60 to 80,000 chemicals that we have created in our atmosphere and in our world and in our waterways. They don't. They do not have that sophistication. You have to take that on. So change out your filter today. If you can get a whole house filter, do that. If you can get a shower filter, do that. At least get that carbon to get out some of the bigger contaminants on your shower. Do whatever you can. Okay. There was another great study conducting that higher water quality standards improved hydration and health outcomes. They found that people who consumed purified water had better hydration levels and overall health, underscoring the need for access to clean drinking water. I don't know why, but I just grabbed a couple studies just to show you that it's not just me making this up. It's like we need to purify our water from the junk that's unfortunately in it, that you didn't do it, I didn't do it, that the corporate world, the polluted world, the unregulated, truly unregulated world has created. So therefore, we need to take that on to protect ourselves, and make sure you do it for your pets as well. If you do not, your pets will be severely affected, just like you would be. Okay, I want to touch on adding unrefined real salt. Okay, so unrefined, no plastics, making sure that the source is good. Celtic sea salt can be good. Salina Naturally is good. My favorite, because I've vetted the hell out of them. I know Salina at Salina Naturally, but I have vetted Redmond, Utah salt. I'm heading down to the caves at some point, but I have vetted them. I've talked to their scientists. I have looked at their reports. It is here in the United States for us in the United States. But any artisan unrefined salt, if you're in another country, I would definitely do your research so you can get some good, clean, unrefined salt. Now, salt and fluid retention is extremely necessary for, again, this gets very biochemically complex, but that osmotic flow, it shows that Dr. Michael Greger had a great study that showed that anything more than about 3 glasses of water at a time can lower the electrolytes too much for the urinary tract, for the kidney specifically. So don't guzzle too much water. I have, over the years now, I drink about 6 to 7 ounce glasses of water in the morning, and then I spread them out. So I have my timing and my routine. I used to just slam 1 liter of water with my salt, and I purified it. I used to slam 1 liter right away in the morning. I don't do that anymore. So I don't want to put that pressure on the kidneys, and I don't want to lose that much electrolytes. And the research does show. The study showed that salt combined helped the hyperhydration solutions and the greater fluid retention. And that's not a bad thing. You want, again, when they're saying retention, we're not saying it's edema, like the retention in the ankles or something. We're talking about the healthy retention on a cellular level, as well as in the kidneys. Okay. Another study was done in 2011, explored the critical need for fluid and electrolyte replacement in athletes. Of course, we're all athletes. We're all doing stuff. I know most of you that are listening, you're working out. You're an athlete. You should be an athlete, and you should actually perform like an athlete, because you want to kick your ass. Sorry. You want to kick ass. You want to be an athlete. You want to be able to respond to life. You want to be the best version of yourself. So when we just say this as athletes, I still call myself an athlete, because I'm always doing something. I'm always working out. I'm always riding my bike. I'm always surfing. I got to surf more. Man, I do have to surf more. I keep saying that, and I've lost my zone of surfing. And that's the ultimate saltwater, right? Mimic nature. So it's always great to be around that. So the emphasis that significant amounts of water and electrolytes, mainly sodium, are lost through sweating, especially now. It's hot out. We're sweating almost all the time. And listen, don't just sit in your air-conditioned room. You got to get outside, let your body sweat. It is super healthy. The study highlights the importance of aggressive rehydration strategies for maintaining performance and preventing hypohydration. So I just kind of conclude it keeping a certain amount, a pinch of unrefined salt per my water, with all my water, and I get that electrical conduction as well as the electrolytes that is so necessary. Okay, the next thing is again, I'm going to keep this really short for now. I'm going to get some guests on. We're going to talk more about the structure of water, or the energy that the water can hold. And that is a very big and complicated subject, but we know that even the work of the late Dr. Luc Montagnier, of energy, of what the energy of what water can hold, the memory that water can hold, and again, the work of Dr. Gerald Pollack on the exclusion zone, the protons and electrons being pushed back and forth when coming up against a hydrophilic surface, or being exposed to infrared light. Infrared light coming up against water increases the exclusion zone. It increases the energy of water. Again, Dr. Gerald Pollack gets into this. So there was also another study in 2020, and the study was a thoroughbred racehorses finding that daily consumption of structured water improved the hydration, reduced upper airway health concerns, and increased heart rate variability. That's an incredible. So they were doing it with thoroughbreds and horse racing, and they will do anything possible to make them perform. The study concluded that structured water could enhance hydration and overall wellness. So it's cool. I mean, a lot of these things get reduced down. There's some studies around alkaline water and things like that. Now, alkalinity, let me just break this down a little bit. Water is H2O. It also has a structure within it, right? How it's structured, how they can move energy through it, that can influence water. There's also pH. What is the pH of the water? Now, it's not flippant. It is flippant just to say high alkalinity improves your body. Now, that's not true. You've got total dissolved solids, which is TDS, and I can go to my tap right now and measure my TDS, but I'm also measuring the total dissolved solids from whatever is in that water. What it really meant before we polluted our water was how many dissolved solids or electrolytes are in that water, and that's TDS. But now that we've polluted our water, TDS has a much bigger number and has other constituents in there. So TDS measurements don't delineate between electrolytes and other pollutants. So you could have high TDS and high pollution. But I can improve alkalinity just through salts. So I can manipulate alkalinity straight away. Doesn't mean that that's any better for my body. Now, the body overall operates in an alkalinity of 7.365, right? Just slightly alkaline. You have blood at a different pH. You have your stomach at a different pH. You have zones of your skin at different pHs. All of that to say, these are different levels. Alkalinity and acidity is just another way of saying the electrical potential. It's like the acid-alkaline battery, right? It's electrical potential of all of our cells and all of our body. If we're too acidic, we can't generate electricity to also heal. Dr. Jerry Tennant has an incredible book talking all about this electrical conduction and healing capability around that. So when your body gets hurt, your body actually creates higher voltage, and through the acid alkaline channel, it increases voltage to the area that requires more healing, and it pulls in the things that the body then needs to heal. So although we can talk about, swollen ankle or everything else and all of that stuff, but we have voltage going on too, which very few people talk about. The electric medicine that was really looked at in the 1920s, from Tesla to Dr. Royal Rife, these things are incredible advances into the understanding. Also, pulse electromagnetic devices I used through some of my travels. Dr. Hulda Clark did incredible electric medicine stuff. There's a whole host of doctors that have used this, and now electric medicine, PEMF, Therasage, mats that I use. These are positive electric fields that can help us heal. But I digress. The importance is we understand that electrolytes, the acid alkaline, is another way of measuring the potential for electrical conduction within the body. And that is very important. And the body does a great job at maintaining that. Over alkalinity is not good for you over time. Over acidity is not good for you over the time. So we want to look at everything in balance. Okay. An interesting study showed that hydration and weight loss. So weight loss study in 2008 investigated long-term effects of drinking water on weight loss in overweight dieting women. They found that increased water intake was associated with greater weight loss, independent of diet and physical activity. The study suggests that drinking water may promote weight loss by lowering total energy intake and altering the metabolism. Incredible. Okay, another study in 2010, Water and Weight Management. In another review, summarized evidence supporting the recommendation of drinking water for weight management. The review highlighted that drinking water instead of calorie beverages reduced total energy intake, that makes sense, but also increased fat oxidation. The study concluded that increased water consumption, not water, not other crazy beverages, is associated with reduced weight gain in children and greater weight loss in dieting adults. So if your child is thirsty, give them water first before some damn Gatorade or some sugary drink. Okay? Now, this is different than fruit sugar. Fruit, which I talked about in my other solo episode. Fruit sugar and fruits and high amounts of like watermelon or peaches or plums or whatever have high amounts of sugar. Hell, raw vegetables, raw diets are raw vegetables and fruits are infinitely higher in water volume too. Chaga agrees, if you heard him in the background. Okay, long-term weight outcomes. Another study in 2013 conducted a review to summarize the association between water consumption and body weight outcomes. They found that increased water consumption, in addition to weight loss and maintenance program, reduced body weight in the long term. So moving the body and doing all that stuff. People who move their bodies tend to drink more water anyway. The review suggested that water consumption can be an effective strategy for weight loss management, etc. So these are powerful in the relationship to your body weight management. Okay, so this is a very, very important because again, we get confused between am I thirsty or am I hungry? That trigger gets very tricky. At the end of the day, one of the number one things that dehydration triggers in you is the lack of energy. If you don't have energy, you think you need to eat food, you think you need to reach for caffeine, reach for water first. If there's one thing you get from this whole podcast, drink water first. Before a sugary beverage, before a caffeinated beverage, drink water first. Okay, the importance of water temperature. This was interesting. So the optimal water temperature, a study in 2011 studied the effect of water temperature on fluid balance, and it was for a bunch of Taekwondo athletes. They found that water at about 16 Celsius, that's about 60 degrees, resulted in the highest volume intake and the lowest fluid deficit compared to colder or warmer water. So it looks like around 60, 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 16 to 17 degrees Celsius was about that temperature. So that's a little cooler than room temperature, but it's probably about, I would say at room temperature. Don't worry about it. Drink your water at room temperature. Seems to hydrate a lot better. Okay, so let's wrap this up a bit. There was also an Adventist health study. This Adventist health study was in 2002, and it analyzed water consumption and its relation to coronary heart disease. In this Adventist health study, they found that individuals who drank 5 or more glasses of water per day had a significantly lower risk of fatal coronary heart disease compared to those who drank 2 or fewer glasses of water. That is huge. Let me just say that again. They found that individuals who drank 5 or more glasses of water per day had a significantly lower risk of fatal coronary heart disease. The study underscores the importance of adequate water intake for cardiovascular health. You can improve your cardiovascular health by drinking more water. That's just 5 glasses of water a day increases your cardiovascular health like crazy, okay? And keep in mind, I can almost guarantee, unless all of you have listened to me before and developed good habits, most of you are dehydrated. Most of you. You have trained yourself to stay dehydrated. If you focus on at least 5, 10, 12 glasses of water a day, purified with a pinch of Himalayan salt, Redmond salt, Celtic salt. If you focus on that, your health, your metabolic health, your brain cognition, your risk for coronary artery disease, all will go down, all will improve. Drink filtered water. Yes. If you have a spring and it is tested, then do it, right? Do it. That's awesome. Add unrefined salt. Add a pinch of unrefined salt to boost your electrolytes. Super simple. No more Gatorade. Get rid of all plastic. Buy a glass bottle. That's it. Filter yourself. And I'm going to explore the structured water more with you. I have looked at this. I know many scientists. So we're going to get into the energy-enhanced water. We're going to do it from a scientific perspective. So I will dive into that further. But get some glass bottles and put your bottle outside. And that will energize your water, I promise. Drink more water. Don't drink water during meals. Drink water in between meals. And I front load it in the morning. You're dehydrated. You need to break your fast. We need water in the morning. So I front load. I drink most of my water before 2 o'clock. So I'm not slamming water at the end of the day. And then all of a sudden, by the way, I've trained myself this way. I never get up to pee. Not once. Maybe once every 3 months, if not 6 months, I get up to pee, and I'm always hydrated, or at least I do my best. Listen to your body. Pay attention to the thirst signals. Reach for your water before the food. If you know you haven't drank water, you know you're dehydrated. Train yourself. There's about, let's say, nearly 10% of all Americans don't even drink 1 ounce of water a day. That's crazy, right? Not nearly 10% don't even drink an ounce of water a day. About 50% only drink 2 to 3 glasses. I think it was an old study I read. Like 2 to 3 glasses a day. Nearly 50% of the people. That's a lot of people. And you consider cognition, you consider metabolic conditions, you consider coronary heart and other conditions, you consider brain health, you consider lymphatic, immune system. Man, water, if given a list of all the benefits, that is the supplement that you need. Like the oxygen you breathe, water you need, please, the fatal convenience around water and what's in that water, please filter your water. Okay, here's some of the solutions. I'm just going to run through these, but they're in the show notes. Redmond salt. You get a discount. Go to Darin Olien's marketplace, darinolien.com. Go to my marketplace. There's a reason why I vetted these companies. I vetted them for you. It's not because of me. I'm already using them. I'm using them. You are asking, I'm providing. Darin Olien's marketplace. They said they're going to give a discount to you, and they're giving you a discount. So everyone I'm mentioning here, they're giving you a discount. So, solutions, Redmond salt. Use it in your food, use it in your water. It's unbelievable. There's no freaking microplastics. They do all the testing. Incredible. AquaTrue. $100 off most of their products on their site if you use my link. Crazy. Amazing. No barrier to entry. Okay? If you need to save up a month, save up a month. Get your water filter. Never buy water again. At least control your home environment. Get a glass bottle from Blue Bottle Love. I have that in the show notes. You get a discount there too. Guess what? There's also a whole other topic that I haven't talked about, but we have a hydration. We have a hydrogen maker. So we can increase hydrogen precipitation in the water, and that's an antioxidant. I just threw that in the show notes. We haven't talked about that, but I can talk about that later. And then the big boy, Mama Vitality. She Legit, Ormus Minerals, Ocean Plasma, tons of products that help your body and also give you a whole bunch of other elementals that your body needs. So go to Mana Vitality. All of these guys are giving you discounts. Water, water, water. It's a big topic. It's one of my favorites. I've dug into this a lot. I've met a lot of scientists. I've studied it for, I'm probably at my 10,000 hour mark yet, but I'm certainly at probably 1,000 plus hours of studying water. But I've also met some of the greatest researchers on the planet that have studied it most of their life. So passing that on to you. It is simple, but you have to do it. Action creates change. Listening to this with no action, that's it. You don't create change. Remember, this is coming from love. I want you to live your best life ever. I want you to live your super life. This is it. This is our life. If you're going to change it, you have to take the action to do it. I love you.